And they've done it in tweaks. Well, it makes him look good. It's not good enough. They go back and they tweak something, and you know,
Hello? Bridget? I can't hear anything again.
Okay, folks, we're going to start the Huntington County Solid Waste Board of Directors meeting. Call to order. Have Laura been removed? So
I can hear.
roll call, please.
I can hear now.
Yes. So Laura, Brian,
Yes.
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Terry, Tom, Richard.
Yes. Okay, we do have a quorum. Minutes from 3/10/2025. I entertain a motion to accept the minutes as presented. Motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Laura,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Tom, Richard.
Yes. Opposed, same sign. No opposed, motion's carried. Thank you. Let's move on. Communications, claims, expenditures, claims and allowance docket.
Claim allowance docket total for the month of April, end of March, 1st of April, 27,867.56. There wasn't anything unusual from the normal bills from
If there's no discussion or questions, I'd entertain a motion to accept the claims and allowance docket as presented. So motion, second. Second. Roll call, please.
Laura,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Tom, Richard.
Yes. Opposed, motion's carried. Opposed, same sign. No opposed, motion's carried. Thank you. Payroll docket.
Yeah, payroll docket was 5,669.80. We had regular hours for the last pay in April, or the last pay in March and the first pay in April. And Matt worked 53 hours and Liz 56 hours on those 2 weeks, respectively.
I make a motion to pay our people.
Motion by Commissioner Stoffel, second by Second by Mayor. Roll call, please.
Laura,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Richard.
Yes. Okay, public claims, we have anything? Christie,
Nope, financials.
financials for March.
Okay, we ended March with 382,738.95 in our account, and the appropriations, we have 357,086.76 that's approved. That's the balance.
Motion to accept, there's no questions or discussion, motion to accept March financials as presented.
So moved. Right.
Motion and a second.
Second.
Second, roll call, please.
Laura,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Thank you.
Opposed, same sign, no opposed, motion carried, thank you. Moving on to director report, Scott.
Alright, we are getting busy again. Matt has been working as much as he can up at West Park with the hours, so he's gonna start full time. So he's gonna start full time, get that going. I sent out an email, didn't hear anything back except from Christie on the mobile office. I know Richard and Tom had talked possibly about putting him in the front of the Parks Department. There's an office in the front part of that Parks Department, but I didn't, when I sent an email out, I didn't get anything back except from Christie. So didn't go forward with. It's this one. I think it was 10,750. So
Pivoted and we're just gonna do a deep dive into putting his office in existence.
That's what I thought we were doing.
We had not said that. The last meeting it said you better buy or figure
Look,
out
look at
the
options.
remote.
That's my
But
understanding.
yeah, we needed to know what to do
Yep.
next.
So, yeah, we
So
can,
is that what you're doing? Deep dive into?
you can get in with Shad and Steve and figure out what it would take to make it work for you guys.
Okay.
So, yep.
Okay.
Yep. Steve
That's
thinks
all I
he
need to hear.
can handle
Just
it.
to move forward with inside, right?
I think so, yeah. I mean, you know, it's, and whether or not there needs to be modifications like a rear door, something like that, we can talk about all that stuff, but in the
Like that.
meantime, I mean, get a
Heat
door
air
chime.
conditioning unit like you get at the hotel or something like that.
the heating, there is heating in there already. There's no air condition. There's no
Right.
air conditioning.
Yeah, there's
in
no
it.
air
But if you're gonna use that front office, you can put a
Just
window
do a
rattler
Yep.
in there.
I think when we're doing it, when we look at it, we price the whole thing out, and I want them to have air conditioning out there.
Okay, I'll
I
keep
mean, you
moving.
gotta track it, right?
Got the seat.
Not on the old 4020, you don't, do you?
It's always air conditioned.
But it sounds good.
So
Quad 55s in my first car.
Yeah.
Roll all four windows down, drive 55 mile an hour.
all right, I'll get with Shad and I'll
Yeah.
stay with Steven because I talked to Steven the other day and he said there was
I
a
think
place
it's a
to
great
talk.
option.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, biggest thing is you just gotta find more space for the things they have stored in
Right.
there. Make sure it's not gonna interfere with you guys.
Right.
There might be some sharing commingling, but
Yeah.
we're adults,
Nope.
we can work it out.
That'll work.
He shouldn't be in there a whole lot.
No.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm saying. So my neighbor came over, I had educated him on the plastic bag thing.
Yeah.
So my neighbor came over, come to the driveway before we said, hey, just so you know, Casey, my close police, I kind of got into it with some people today. And I said, really? I said, where's that at? He goes, that's back there, solid back there, put bags in, and I tried to educate them, and they got mad at me. Like round. Good.
Oh, you tried,
Good,
right?
because we've got great big stickers on the side of
I
it.
could say
but it
that's
still
a part-time job. Yeah.
doesn't-
I got a great kick out of it. Tell him that, he'll settle down. Yeah.
So Jim Parker that runs New Genesis that does all of our other stuff other than latex paint and that kind of stuff. Jim New Genesis is no longer going to be. They've been bought out by Caldwell Enterprises, which is they do the same thing. So we're working on transitioning that over to. He's retiring. Jim is retiring. So he's been really good to work with. I mean, he taught me a lot in the 9 years that I've been here. And so that's one that's going to be hopefully an easy transition over to Caldwell's. But I guess we'll wait and see. I sent 9 boxes of latex paint to Ohio. So we've got a shipment getting ready to go out to Jim's. So get ready for summer because it's already ramped up. We've been really busy. So, but, other than that, trying to figure out then. So West Park's going to be open 7 to 3. We're going to get that out on the website. 10 to 6. It'll be out at my place 7 to 3 on Wednesday, and then 10 to 6, and then 7 to 3, and then second Saturday, and then we have first and third Saturday. So we're trying to figure out hours wise how we're going to get this to make it work, because that's well over 40 hours between Matt and me on 3 extra Saturdays. When I started, we had me and 2 part-time workers. Now I'm going to be out there, and Matt's going to be here most of the time. So I know we have it in the budget to have a part-time to kind of fill in, because just trying to figure out what that looks like and where you guys want me to go on a part-time or that way. Yeah, to fill in the gaps. So
What was Matt when he was hired? What was his part time? 10 hours, 20 hours?
Matt's been there for longer than I have, and his was probably 20 hours.
Yeah, that's
His
what
Colt
the
Colton was 20, and then he left and went to STI, and then Matt
20
was
weekly, not bi-weekly.
20 weekly. Yep.
Yeah.
So how many hours
that's
do
always
you need to cover without paying overtime?
So Matt would be, well, there's 3 Saturdays. There's 3 Saturdays. There's 12. So there's 12 hours. Well, for 2 weeks, you'd have 8 hours, correct? 2 Saturdays.
Yeah. In a pay period, you're
Yeah.
saying.
Right. Yeah, the pay period. Well, 4 extra hours every week.
Right.
Because of the Saturdays.
But plus you don't need somebody to help fill in on Wednesdays with you if he's with you on Wednesday because we're closed.
Because Wednesday's going to be closed on there.
Okay.
So at least 20
Then
hours.
the other day, I would say we could offer them 20 hours. I think they can float.
We can push
Especially
that.
yeah, you budgeted for that. Yeah. It doesn't have to be 20, but yeah.
And what's that pay?
15 or no. I mean, it starts at 15 or 19 at the total, I think. Or it starts at 19 and it was 25, but we wouldn't pay them 25 first. No, I think it was 19 actually. 15 is what it used to be. 19 is to start. We could start them at 20 and
See what we can find. At least get it out there.
Just with consensus, just put it out
yeah,
there so they
just
can
to
find.
have Stephanie
And we're
advertise
talking 20 hours.
20 hours every 2 weeks. Right?
So really
20
10
hours
hours
a day. Yeah.
You want Stephanie to help you with that?
I can go
Yeah.
over there to
I'll get a hold of
I'm
her.
head over there
Okay.
as soon as things work.
Are those consistent hours too? Like which hours would they be covering?
Probably a Saturday and then
So
another day during the week.
then another day during the week. Thursdays is because we get slammed on Wednesdays, so we're sorting and
So this person
Right.
would have to be in charge there by themselves if they're part-time, correct?
No, they would be working with
Somebody.
somebody.
So we reached out
At
to
least at
Danielle
first.
Tipp, and she's no longer at Pathfinders, and she never got back to us about having a job coach and someone from Pathfinders, 1 or 2 or 3 different people to help. I thought that was a great fit. I know the commissioners, we talked about it. I don't think we brought it back up in here. Maybe we did, but I don't know who's. Yeah, so I don't know who's in charge out there now, but
Chris Conference interim.
it would be nice to maybe extend that again and see, because they come with a job coach. They have very, very, competent individuals to do different tasks that you have to do. I'd like to see that pursued. And I'll just tell you that last director dropped the ball, and I called her. Well, we emailed her. I know Bridget emailed her twice. I called her 3 times and never returned my phone call. So that's probably why they don't have her as a director anymore. I don't know. So, but if we can reach out to them, you have contact there, Bridget?
and some of it that
Okay.
we got to be careful because we have to have that hazmat training in too.
I I get it.
But yeah.
But
I should get
As long as
Rachel.
there's something.
They have many individuals with a lot of many tasks and different things that could do these different jobs and working at the facility there too. So
Right, the sorting and stuff.
Yeah, because I think Mike Oldham's still oversees that program. But Chris can make referrals.
Yeah, she brought him in. I mean, he introduced himself and stuff like that. So, he kind of, I think he's bought in.
yeah.
Nice guy.
Runs the
Yes.
shop around East
Right. Yeah. Well, he was excited about
So
wanting to get
is
involved.
that okay, Richard? You can contact him and get back with maybe the rest of us by email or something.
Okay.
Then we can set down.
Or Rob, you mentioned about just connecting with Stephanie.
Well, Stephanie's our HR person, so she knows all the ins and outs.
Right.
Yeah, the rules.
That's true.
What we have, she can tell us everything. And Scott's
I can,
told with the has meeting.
Yeah, he'll get with her on that.
Working on
So do you want me to make an interaction between Mike and Stephanie then?
I'll let her know.
We can kind of tell Stephanie
I'll let her know.
what it was like, you know.
Yep.
Your side of it. So, as far as the job is.
Okay, so I'll work on working with the city and getting Chad down there and work on stuff with part-time with Pathfinders.
Or advertising.
Yeah. I'm gonna get them out on the city website, tell everybody to, and we're gonna pass out flyers down there saying that that's what's gonna happen.
So that was a month ago, we decided to do those hours.
But he's not full time yet. 2 through the hours. But the hour, I think, isn't the gate opened on
It's still on it,
7,
Time.
7, yeah.
but I got signed ready to go.
And it's been down there.
Got the signing done.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, have anything else?
No.
Citizen Advisory Committee.
Oh, it's traveling.
Whole business.
Yeah, we were doing that.
Any other whole business we need to address? New business, moving forward here.
I don't think we have anything.
Anybody else for the good of the order here?
Public comment. Anybody on there? No.
Just real quick, in our reports from the director, I tell like on a monthly basis, I the trash content down, and he should be getting reports from our supplier to come in if he can tell us the poundages of what they're taking in trash and if what we're doing is making sense. And we was selling, computer parts and doing different things, the other items, and it wouldn't hurt to even have a list. You guys should have a daily log of, how many participants show up at each facility. It doesn't take much to do a little clicker and say, hey, I had 2 people on Wednesday, and I had 30 people on Thursday, so we can kind of keep track of from now on too. That would help you with your part-time stuff too. And that would give a little bit better report for us.
Okay.
Thanks.
Anything else?
Motion adjourned.
Motion.
Is that what you're waiting for?
Second.
Beat Brian.
Thanks.
Having a hard time hearing. You're kind of going in and out. It's really interesting what I hear.
Speak up a little bit louder.
Okay.
Okay.
We can't talk to that anymore.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you before. It's interesting how softer spoken people you can't hear. And it's just got a funny sound to it.
Let me try something. We're gonna test this here real fast.
Christy really well. Richard really well. Rob's so soft spoken that.
Yeah, my wife says I'm soft spoken too.
Yeah.
So,
I think you might have to, when you speak, since you're the president of this, we might have to have the.
Yeah, just take your own mic there. I'll just go ahead.
See, just like right now, it's got the funniest sound, and I think you're gonna have problems when you start your regular meeting
Well,
and how it sounds.
Today.
Okay, yeah, I guinea pig or what?
Yeah.
That's why he's here. We're trying to get
Yeah,
the kid.
thanks.
Really bad
Yeah, yeah.
feedback.
Thank you,
He's
Laura.
right on the edge right now, because I can hear myself.
I know, I could.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying, you know, he bumped the microphones up as much as he could. But I think we're on the edge, we would get a lot of feedback. That's why it sounds weird for her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's on the
it's
phone,
very
so,
strange.
phone call, but yeah. That's what the commissioners meeting is gonna be more interesting.
Can you move the microphone closer if you're gonna talk, or you don't?
And then it'd be up to the participants to pull the microphones to you. We can put more microphones up, but the problem
I'm
is,
just asking if that's a.
it is, but then we have to switch these every time. You know, we're trying to get these dialed in so this is working for
Like,
this area here
right.
now, because usually there's only one microphone here. But
okay.
then we have the commissioners meeting, have to find here. If we could use those, but I think when we go over to have your commissioners meeting, the settings will not work.
Okay.
And that's why I'm trying. The girls don't have to sit and play all the conditions.
Right.
So now you, we're done. So what you can do, Greg, is you get. See you later.
right, folks, we're going to call the. Okay, I'm green here, so okay, that's fine. Gretchen, we're ready to go.
We all got our own mic.
Okay.
Are we live yet?
Hi, Chris Chair. Nice to meet you. That's what he was just telling me. I've heard the name, but thankfully I haven't had to talk to you. That may change. The day's young. I hear that a lot.
Look at that price. Library.
I know.
Out of control. Unbelievable.
Are we live yet?
Yeah.
We are live. Okay. Going to call the April 7th, 2025 Huntington County Board of Commissioners meeting to order. If everybody is on the list here, do so before you leave today, or you can do it right now. But we're going to start the meeting. First order of business is the minutes, gentlemen.
Well, makes a motion.
Second.
Second by Stoffel.
Second by Commissioner Stoffel. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Say no. No opposed. Motion's carried. Thank you. Claim.
I'd like to.
Motion
Second.
by Commissioner Wall. And a second by Commissioner Stoffel. Opposed, same sign. No opposed. Motion's carried. Thank you. 9 o'clock, we have the prosecutor vehicle request and a trade.
I can speak to that.
Okay,
He's going to be purchasing a vehicle from his own discretionary funds. He has a vehicle that back when he died, it's sitting over in Markle. So they're going to want to trade that with something. And so we'll take that off of our books and deem that surplus. And then he's going to purchase a new vehicle from the city police department, miles on it for an investigator car. So that's what's going to happen.
okay, need a motion to deem that surplus.
Well, it makes a motion to deem their past vehicle surplus and for them to purchase the new vehicle and proceed on and put that on our county insurance. Most people here in my motion, we don't tell what that car is because we don't want people knowing what the prosecutors, investigators driving around. So that is my motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. No opposed. Motion's carried. Thank you. Bridget, do you have anything, or Gretchen, I'm sorry, do you have anything for us, Gretchen, that we need to address before our next item on the agenda?
Give me a minute, waiting on the additional stats. What they sent me was incorrect, so just send a text.
While we're Zoom, that's listening to this meeting, we have the company here that we purchased our system from. If you have a problem listening to us, please don't be afraid of getting with us. Today is the day for us to get this fine-tuned. We've been working on this for the last couple meetings and we struggled, so they are here. Hopefully everyone can hear us well and see us well in this room also. The same system as what we have in county council chambers also, correct? We don't speak loud enough, so we will try to pick up on that. Only because you scolded me. Yes.
That's all you need, really.
And it was too close to me?
Those mics are different than that mic. I had the settings so you don't have to be so close to it.
Gotcha.
Okay, are you ready for me? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I needed a signature on that title. Go ahead. Thank you, sir. You're welcome. So I have a third-party access authorization, so I can access your Constellation account to provide data for Andy. I am the third party, but they need you to sign this, please.
Absolutely. You just need a consensus.
I just think I need a signature, really.
Yeah, consensus to sign this so we can get the data from Constellation, which,
So I will take a signature right there. And I'll fill out the rest.
That agreement is, that's something.
Constellation.
Stephanie, can we get that agreement, Mr. Boxberger, have him look that over?
This one?
That's with the gas, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
He already has it, and I'm trying to get data for him.
Okay, okay.
that's,
Very good.
that's why we're getting the
Yeah.
signature.
Appreciate that. Our conversation with me and them did not go very well, so you don't have to defend me. I just told what I thought.
Okay, Bridget and Gretchen, if there's anything we need to attend to before,
Okay.
next item.
First thing I have is the owner occupied rehabilitation grant that the county was awarded through Okra. We need to establish a scoring committee, 3 to 5 members for that.
I would like to be on that.
So what's the requirements for the scoring committee? Can it be
There are no scoring, no, there are no.
anybody from the community, public officials typically?
Yeah, typically we do like one commissioner, maybe a county councilman, and then just someone from the community.
So Commissioner Walls, stepped up to the plate and volunteered for this committee. Terry Miller, since you're here from county council, do you want to help on this, rehabilitation grant that we got?
Yes, sir.
And we need to appoint
3 citizens.
3 citizens. So this grant allows up to $25,000 for people at a certain income level for repairs like roof, HVAC, windows. We've got basically $500,000, so we're looking at 20 families that are be eligible for up to $25,000 in grant dollars. I don't know what the income limits are on that. For sure, Bridget, do we know what that is?
Yeah.
I think we have a link established on our website for people who want to apply for this grant.
Yes.
Yeah, household income, one person, 45,550. It goes on down the line, two person, 52,050, three, 58, up to 8 people in the home at 85,900. They need to complete the application of income, most recent tax returns, W-2 if applicable, to prove what income is, deed to their home, a copy of it that we can prove it is their home and it's not a rental, and a complete list of repairs. Repairs will be ADA accessibility, modifications to the threshold of the home for ramps, possibly heating, air cooling, select lighting fixtures, electrical upgrades to get the code, and water heater replacement. And I know we've worked with Eric Long from our Elevate group to bring in all Huntington County contractors to be doing either roof repairs, heating and cooling to make sure that they have the proper insurance and be able to get reputable people to be able to do this work. And we've already started on that too.
So just a suggestion, why don't we put Eric Long on there and then maybe somebody from, a couple of people from the general public or one person from Huntington City government, city council possibly, and then one citizen on there. What's your guys' pleasure on that?
And my only thing is this is a grant that the county got, nothing against the city, but if you're gonna put someone from the city, someone from Roanoke, Markle, Warren, one on there also. I personally would love to see the citizens on there.
That's fine.
And don't take it wrong against the city.
3 to 5, it doesn't have to be 5.
Okay.
Okay. So we've got Eric, yourself,
So you got
and Terry. We've got
fine, two
three. Anybody
Does
want
that
to, or do we want to stop at 3, or you want to go for 5? We can get a couple citizens
I
on
said let's
there.
get some citizens on there.
So we don't have to point them today if there's nobody in the audience that's interested, but,
Was your hand up?
I was trying to.
Oh. Just check.
What is the term of service for?
it probably won't be, I'd say in the next 90 days, we'll have the applications in, the committee will meet maybe once or twice and probably award, I mean, there's 20 opportunities here. I don't think it's gonna be a long drawn out affair.
It just, it's not.
I'd say in the next 60 days, we can probably wrap it up. So we got Don Freiberger,
I'll volunteer. You need someone?
okay, got
Thanks,
Mike.
Mike.
There you go.
Nice.
Okay, all right, job. We got 5. Okay, very good.
Very good. Did, just to let you guys know, Adrian Haverstaff, sent us a hardship, request, week ago, maybe?
Yeah, last
About an
Thursday.
individual who's having some health problems and stuff, and it was specifically in the mountain there, and getting tied to the sewer.
Yeah, they're trying to.
Yeah, and he's had some health issues and unable to work, so, we wanna make sure that we get,
Give them an opportunity.
to apply for this too, so.
Yeah, I called Matt Brinkman on that because I'm not sure if it's in the realm of what this grant is for the state, but he was gonna get hold of Okra he feels it's plumbing and electrical, because they need electrical for that pump and they need to have plumbing for that pump.
Right.
Not trying to stretch the rules, but he's gonna get a definition to make sure that they qualify to put in there.
Okay.
If not, we can look and see what else we can do for them.
Okay. It's probably gonna have to be a sooner or later thing though, if he has to get tied to that sewer.
Well,
So,
since we got $500,000 from the state of Indiana, we want to spend it right away.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Rob, we also have the letters that go out to all of the firms that we are asking to provide service on this. We have to I can't think of the word, like recruit, that's not really the word, but like we have to include like women owned businesses that are owned by minorities. So in order to fulfill all of those requirements, that they kind of send out, here is a list of people within fit into those
Send out an
categories.
RFP to all these people.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. It's just that's the word, an invitation for the request for proposal.
Okay, so, need a motion for the RFP to meet the guidelines as required by Okra for the various contractors and who's qualifies for the contracting, part of this, grant. Need a motion for that.
Well, second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. No opposed, motion's carried on these letters. Okay.
Are you ready for my next thing?
Yes.
Okay. We have a citizen who is requesting a stop sign at the intersection of 300 West and 900 South. She had a crash there and was very badly injured, and so she has requested that we put a stop sign there. I explained to her that 300 West used to be a state road, used to be 221, and the only stop signs on that road are at 124 and 218. And she is adamant that we put a stop sign there. So in the meantime, I told her there's a process for that. So in the meantime, our sign person went out and put flags on the top of the signs. There's a beacon on one of them. The other sign has the sheriff's office, and he has some comments as well.
Do I have to go up there with these new microphones?
Yes, you do.
Sorry, Sheriff. Trying to tone loud back. So, after I got the information from Bridget, thanks, dispatch, I contacted them to find out, how many accidents do we actually have there versus everywhere else? Because you guys know as well as I do, we have accidents every single place in Huntington County, and there's no rhyme or reason sometimes why they happen or where they happen. The last stats we have from 2019 to 2025, we have 6 PD accidents, which is property damage accidents. For those that don't know, that's just 2 automobiles that hit each other and nobody was injured. 5 PI accidents where people were injured and an ambulance was requested, and we've had no fatals. So that's the current stats for that location. 300 West has predominantly been north-south road that's been open with just stop signs on east and west side. I guess my personal opinion, if you start putting a stop sign, and from what I understand, she's requesting, she wants it actually on 300 West. You're going to have more accidents from people who have traveled that road for 40, 50, 60 years and aren't prepared for that one single stop sign that's there than what you would otherwise. I think the bigger question is, on that road, you want to put mitigating factors up outside of just stop signs, whether it's the flags, whether it's the rotators, whether it's the flashing signs,
Rumble strip, whatever.
something. I just know that if we addressed every single issue that comes before us on accidents that happens outside the county because somebody's not paying attention and disregarded stop signs, I can't imagine how many tax dollars we spent just on mitigation factors because people that don't pay attention. The fact of the matter is, with cell phones and everything else, people don't pay attention when they drive. So I don't know. I asked Bridge, I said, I wondered how many stop signs we actually have in Huntington County, and I don't know that number, but it's got to be a large number. And if you put those everywhere, I don't know what you want.
Section that there was nothing blocking
Visually,
view.
yeah.
And it's a wide open intersection there.
So we did our Safe Street study at the Safe Street grants, and I don't believe this intersection was identified as one of our problem areas, right?
Was not.
It was not.
So I think we've done some due diligence on our problem areas, and we're addressing those. And like the sheriff says, it's unfortunate that this person was in this accident, but we can't just have a knee-jerk reaction to every accident out there. There has to be a system in place where we decide where we need to do some remediation. And so I think we've done the due diligence on this by checking out the area, looking at it, what it's actually.
Yeah, I totally agree. You pull up the statistics for State Road 124 and that road, and 218 in that road, and look at the fatalities that's been there over the years is crazy because people just fly through there even when the love it and have horrific accidents there. By adding a stop sign is not going to do it. I appreciate County Highway jumping out there and doing their due diligence, make sure there was nothing out there, putting some little flaggy things up. We haven't done rumble strips because they always say that because of the snow removal, but other counties do it too. So I don't know what to say, but
I will say to the commissioners that the signage that has been put up in locations that we identified in the past with the flashing signs was flashing, and I know those are expensive. They have proved to be very effective in the locations that we had a lot of accidents, like you suggested. Was it 300 West and 124? We put them at Tipton Street extended out 200 East, where we were having a lot of crashes. I can't recall any that we've had since those signs have been up. Chief, do you recall anything?
I think only one that was an intentional blowing
Right.
the stop sign at
Right.
Mission. So.
yeah. The number one concern out of the Safe Streets for All for everyone was Division Road 105, and the state of Indiana reacted so fast. Got the lights up, got the stop sign in place, and they got everything cleared back and ready. Except a lot of other intersections, and unfortunately, this one was not in the mix of a bad fatality.
She actually blew the stop sign, right? The person that's complaining, she blew
She
the stop sign. And she said she doesn't know why. She'd driven it a lot of times and just blew it, right?
Yeah, she told me that
Okay.
she has traveled that road since 1979 and never saw that stop sign.
Okay.
I had Keith take a look out there, and we have this program called Biolytics, and so we had our people, they drive every road in the county, and there's a phone hooked up to it, and it uploads all this data into a database for us. So we can go and search and see the stop signs were there, the stop ahead signs are there. It's nothing that has been installed in any recent time. It's just, it's been there, and I mean, I completely sympathize with her, and I understand her concern. But I feel like we've done everything we can do.
They used to say accidents happen with what, 4 miles of your own home? Me personally, I do it right at the home. I don't get that far away. So, but yeah, it's because you forget, you get complacent and you just forget.
Right.
Well, I'd like to thank the sheriff's department and dispatch, whether they were involved in you girls for taking that and everybody getting the due diligence, but I'm in total agreement with the sheriff and the chief that, we don't put stop signs up to stop accidents or speed limit signs and stuff, so leave it the way it is. We can talk about the flashing, lights if you want to. I mean, she may have saw that, it's easy to get distracted and think about other things and go through stop signs.
But we typically have been putting them flashing lights up unless it's a fatality corner. The only place that we put them up flashing is where Broadway and State Street is. And main thing is, I went and watched, people were going to the POW Club and literally blowing the stop sign going north-south.
Oh, yeah.
So I witnessed that. I totally agree. There's one that put it up because there's people from out of town cutting down Broadway. They don't stop there at all. But we have citizens with their children going out to the POW Club. And I think the 3 commissioners said, hey, let's spend the money and get that up there before it happens. So.
So this is a question for our operations guy, Mr. Hacker. So when we're doing new paving, particularly asphalt, or doing an intersection, what's the additional cost for, like, you've seen a new asphalt, like they'll run that rumble strip in the center line, or they'll run a rumble strip. Is that more efficient than, I'm thinking the old style rumble strips that you use your snow blade on, you usually end up screwing up your blades, or you're going to clear off the.
I know like NDOT runs those reflectors. I know they say that's where all the snow falls with thinking about the smack down, it breaks cut edges. The rumble strips you're thinking of is they actually mill in the road.
Right, that's what I meant.
They
So,
mill them in the road.
is that an expensive process?
It's just it's a milling machine that you have to run down the road and do. It's probably not a cheap.
Right.
I don't particularly like that because then it allows water to lay in it, which then is going to create ice spots.
Degrades the road then
Degrades
too.
the road, less water lays, so that penetrates and it's going to let the road deteriorate quicker.
Right.
And I can see on maybe a fast road or something that, like, I know a lot of places do on curves.
Right.
But I mean, the intersection you guys are talking about, that's a straight stretch, that's wide open all the way down. So I don't know a rumble strip like that.
That would be a good
And
application.
it had to be on the county road on the side,
Right.
the east-west road rather than north-south road there.
Would you say six accidents in the last 5 years?
Yeah, 6 PD accidents and 5 PI, 0 fatals. And it's been since 2019.
Is that an exorbitant, is that about standard with an intersection with
To me, but I don't know what you
That's
do
a
to
total
fix
of
that.
11
I mean,
accidents.
we're talking about, those are straightaways, like Dave was saying, you're 300 west, 900 south, those are straightaways.
Can you put a pre-warning sign up, stop sign ahead?
If they're paying attention.
That'd be easy to do.
Head signs up there.
Huh?
There are stop
There are
ahead
stop
signs.
ahead signs.
There are.
The only thing that sign guys can do now is put orange flags on them. They put a whirligig that spins when the wind carries it, which those don't last very long. But none of the flags here do. They're out in the sun and the wind, and it's just be a maintenance item. We've done that in Roanoke on 1100 North, and you guys put that stop sign there. I think they put flags, whirligigs on it, but the sign guys used to be out there. Still see people run right, just blow right on through them. So I'm with Chris. I don't know if there's any right fix on other than just knowing there's a stop sign, reading the stop sign and staying off the phone.
Right.
I don't know what time of day it was, but if it was early morning, if you're heading eastbound on them roads, the sun is brutal, absolutely brutal. So.
I don't know what else. I don't know how you fight that. The sun in your eyes.
Yeah.
Don't drive.
Lost your grants.
The whirligig things cost much?
I think he said they were $75 or something.
Well, Dave was out of town last week. I went ahead and had him put up the flags.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
the
you did?
flags
Okay.
and the beacon are already on there.
The little vertigators.
No, we have the actual orange flags that are up
Okay.
there.
Is that the technical name? Is that the technical name?
That is kind of
Just check
technical.
Really?
Yeah.
Thing else I have 2025, 2024 annual statistics, and I canceled it. You know, we always try to tell you how much we
Yeah.
bring back into the commissary and things of the money that we're making. There's going to be some legislative changes happening July 1st. It's going to dramatically impact our commissary and the amount of money we're bringing in. And so I'm going to put that on council's radar and your radar so that when we do present those stats, you keep that in
Are
mind.
they taking it away from you now?
Yeah.
or-
Yep, some representative had a family member that was in jail, and the family got charged for being able to use the phones, and so they are looking to cap it, if not eliminate it. So
Commissary?
the phone
Oh, the
usage.
phone.
So the money that the company uses to charge, that on the back end, we make some funding
Right,
on, but we
right.
make it so that they can do the texting, the video phone calls. You know, so if you got grandma in North Dakota that wants to call in little Johnny in the jail, they can still communicate via a video phone or a regular phone. We would make money on top of that, and money would go to our commissary, and that's what funded our cars and our equipment, things that we tried not to go to council and ask for more funding for. Well, they're about to eliminate that because a representative had a family member in jail. So I want to do my research on that so that when I come back in front of you and in front of council, you guys at least have those stats and those numbers so you know where we're headed in 2026 and beyond. But it looks like in July 1st, that's likely going to happen. And for you guys that are in here to talk to your state representative, Larissa and Andy, if you could talk to them, they're looking at changing our per diem rate for holding inmates. I think we're at $37.50 now. We've been at that for decades of holding inmates. And as prices have gone up between healthcare, between food prices, even staff, everything's gone up, that the state only pays us $37.50. And even on the state's DOC website, they charge $75 to the state, but they only pay us, county agencies, to hold their inmates $37.50. They're charging $2, which still is not enough. I mean, the feds pay us $75, and the state Department of Corrections gets $75. They're still trying to hold back on us. So if you talk to them, the Indiana Sheriff's Association is pushing back, and we're requesting at least $55 to $60.
Good.
Not 42. 42 is not going to cover it. And you know, if they're not paying their fair share, and we're continuing to have hold those inmates for a longer period of time, the taxpayers of Huntington are the ones that are going to be paying for it.
And
that's
they,
not right.
they don't pay timely.
No.
I
They're 6 months
appreciate you
behind.
getting back with me last week. I had an opportunity, had lunch with Lieutenant Governor Beckwith in Indianapolis, and that was one of my main questions. I still had the $400,000 number in my head, but believe it or not, they have a glitch, and they're trying to get it done. And the state's having trouble counting their $1 billion of money to get the money back to you, and I wasn't very sympathetic. So I think we're going to be able to get it, and even though they're not paying what we think they need to pay per prisoner, they still need to pay their bills on time. And I said, I appreciate you saying we're going to get our money, but are you going to pay us some interest? We have to make up that money somewhere.
Right.
That wasn't an option, but the state, you know, we're fighting amongst our different legislative committees. The state is boasting that they want to save homeowners $1.1 billion for property tax relief for Hoosier homeowners and farmers. That is all good and said, and but you know, every time we go, they are saying the cities and towns that are very extravagant in their ball fields and their different facilities that they're putting in. We're scraping for every bit of cash we have here in our county, and so do the others. Yeah, I'm all for property tax relief around property owners also, but also we have to have the level of services to get back to our community. And it's going to be very interesting here in the next few days what they're going to do to us. And all that's going to do is every office in this county courthouse, the clerk just came in, she's going to have to start charging more money for services. Yep. You're going to have to start charging more money for all your inspections you do.
Yep.
All the other offices are too. So it's still going to affect our county government. We have a wheel tax in place for all Huntington County. We share that with everybody. They're wanting Huntington City to have a wheel tax, so that's like double dipping. They're going to charge people in Huntington City a wheel tax and that, and they said if you don't do that, you're not going to get road funding. So this legislature this time around is really putting the hurts to a lot of government agencies. lot of the legislators realize what you do.
No.
You know, I tell the story to the legislators when I go down there, and even the lieutenant governor when I was there. And you come to Huntington County and a sheriff's car drives by you, or a sheriff's van with prisoners in it, you can say Huntington County's inmates help pay for that. They paid for all of it, not the taxpayers.
Yep.
So I'm with you, man. We're gonna fight together.
And I don't know if when you talked to him, if you could tell me, did they provide you any information? Because I don't know if anybody in Indiana ran out of money in March to hold inmates, which has never happened, but they had already run out of money. So did they say when they were going to get that fixed?
We should, hopefully by July or August. By July or August. So I don't know if they're fighting real hard to get us the money we deserve, because they're still fighting with legislators to get what they want.
Yeah.
So you're not a priority right now.
I felt it.
Okay.
We all have 92 sheriffs.
Yeah.
All right. I'll be back the next meeting and try to provide you all those numbers and have more information.
You know, I think it's important that we all work hard to be physically conservative and, you know, tighten our belts where we can, cut out waste. But, you know, when a lieutenant governor spends $80,000 or $90,000 on an SUV for his travel around the state, I don't think that's sending a really good message when he's telling us we need to tighten our belts. So that's just my comment on that. So.
Real quick, our vendor that's here, would you go outside, get on YouTube and listen to us? I want you to go outside and do it. Please. I want you to go outside and do it, because I'm having people text me that we sound horrible. But you need to go outside and do it. I get it. I get it. Well, then his boss needs to say it's not working. Okay, thank you. End of story. He needs to go.
Shelley, sorry to make you wait. Do we have anything else, girls? We can do that after Shelley gets down here. Is that okay? Yeah. All right, thank you.
Well, I absolutely can feel the pain with the legislators writing bills right now that have no idea what we do as county officials in our counties. You know, we have an ex-representative as a clerk, and she literally said, our only success this time around is holding off bills that have been wrote that will completely undo for Indiana what we've accomplished over the years of, you know, having safe and accurate elections. So I feel your pain with that. I'm here to ask from out of state conferences. One is EAC, and Tom had asked me to explain a little bit on that. Exactly where that benefits our county. It's paid 100% from EAC. I'm the Indiana representative for the Election Assistance Commission for the United States. And what we bring to this is education. EAC is structured to keep the integrity of elections, and also to they certify our election equipment. We actually in Huntington have the poll books that were the first to be certified by EAC. When I go there, what we do is give the local leadership, so we give ideas of what we do within our community. On election education, on recruiting poll workers for elections. In that, in our small group, are ideas that I've been able to learn and, you know, have permission to go and do these things in Huntington County were actually taken as some of the ideas for EAC last year. And the state acknowledged our QR codes by, I was able, and it's only because of Huntington County and how you guys have let me lead that I was given the administrator award for Indiana. And I say that with all my heart, that I'm grateful to be from the county that I'm from and Indiana, because our elections are safe and secure. So that's the EAC one. And then the other conference is in May. It's a RICSA. That's a child support conference. I'm on the chair for the Association of Indiana to help bring in a new child support system for Indiana.
Is that through Title V? That's Title?
Yeah, Title IV, yeah,
Five.
and it would come out of the Title 40 fund, incentives, so that's money that can only be used for training, at 100%.
I'm gonna make a motion, we approve both.
Well, second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed,
Okay.
same sign.
Thank you, Shelley.
No
You need to go
opposed.
see your new counter too.
Oh, yes, we have a new counter and we've made it, to look, and reflect the courthouse, so as
Matches
far as,
beautiful.
yeah, thank you. You did stop in, or did it just buy the pictures?
Peeked in the window.
Oh my gosh, it's, yeah,
You know,
it is
when Vicky was out
absolutely.
there, I used to be able to jump over that counter.
Yeah,
I can't do that anymore.
yeah, because of some of the security things that we had to have a door put on, and we thought while we were putting the door on, we might as well, it was, make it look nice.
Good for
and-
you.
Yeah,
I'll
well,
go,
thank
I'll
you.
come up and take a
Thank
look.
you, Shelley.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Appreciate.
So
Whose glasses are those?
okay, who,
I left them there. I'm gonna grab these.
Yep.
I might go.
Public hearing.
we got a hearing in 2 minutes.
Thank you,
I
Gretchen.
need a break though, as soon as that's done.
Yeah.
Public hearing.
1 minute. We got
1
a
minute,
public
so we
hearing.
probably better stay on time with that. Boy, are you in trouble. Oh, I'm telling you. Oh, are you nervous? You are, I can tell you are. Yeah, you are. You gonna make him stand out there? He's not coming in? She's gonna need back to put her through the ringer today. She had it easy up there.
Fair enough.
This isn't so easy.
Okay, it's 9:30, folks. We're gonna have a public hearing on reclassification of zoning, 3798 North Norwood Road. The rezoning from R20 to GB, general business. I'm guessing that's what we're talking about. So, is Kim gonna?
She's got stuck out in the hallway.
Oh, okay.
Okay, crack that door open because they can't open it from the outside.
Just talking to somebody out there,
Okay.
speaker guy or something like that.
Sweet, sweet.
Yeah.
Here we go. Hi, Kim. You have the floor. We opened the hearing.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
Thank
This is
you.
really easy. So the Herzog to rezone their property from, which is residential apartment district, to GB, general business. I've sent you guys the information. I don't know if you have any questions or not, but basically, I think they have a buyer for needed it to be zoned commercial or business to purchase it, correct, Nicole? Yes. So that's the reason for it. And it's a good use for the property.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense, the zoning that it is
That'd be
currently.
your recommendation then, right?
Yep, that would definitely be my recommendation to approve it to GB.
And they got overwhelming support from the
Planning Commission.
unanimous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah,
before.
so I don't know if they
yeah.
want
Do
to
you
talk,
guys
or do you
need
have
to
any questions for them?
speak? No, okay. So with that being said, if there's no other discussion, I'm gonna close the public hearing.
Well, makes a motion to approve the rezoning request on this property.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Stuffle. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. No opposition. Motion's carried.
See how hard that was?
So it's a done deal, and I will have it changed on GIS in the next day or two. So that's it.
Building site.
Nothing else needs to be done. Nothing else needs to be done.
Keep investing in Huntington County.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you guys. Take care.
All right, we'll just have you sign both of these then.
In favor of?
Huh?
Pretty high direct Parker. I got him up there waiting on me to come back.
Yep.
Okay.
We taking a break, boss?
Yeah, we're gonna take about a
One more of
5,
these?
10-minute break. Okay.
Gretchen, what's this one for?
Sorry.
That's,
No, it's. Okay, we're gonna move. If you'd, please, hold your conversations for now while we move on with county business here. NDOT LPA contract, bridge number 501, LaFontaine Street Bridge over the Little River. Got Jeff Larison here, gonna speak to that.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jeff Larison, United Consulting Engineers. We have a contract that we gave to Bridget the other day that's for the land acquisition and right-of-way services for Bridge 501. And this is part of a federal aid project that's been in the works for a little over 3 years now. And we're at the stage of the project where NDOT it greenlights the actual acquisition of the parcels. A couple of them are permanent acquisitions, and one of them is just a temporary right-of-way because we're going to have some equipment that will eventually move in on and off the property during construction. Excuse me. So today, do you have the contract with you? Yeah. Okay, great. If you don't mind, I'll grab that real fast.
So this bridge is in the city limits, but we're required, it's our responsibility as the county entity to maintain that bridge.
That's correct. Anything that's 20 feet or more, and it's not on a state road or a federal highway, is a county's responsibility. And that, in this case, even though this is with Huntington, it's your responsibility to maintain, construct, replace, whatever needs to be done to it. And that's how you guys got stuck with this one. So what we're here today to do is, let me give you something real fast that might spell out a little bit more. I apologize for the small print. There's a lot of information on there. It breaks down the number of parcels, which are 3. Talks about the potential, the estimated cost of the parcels themselves, but more importantly, the fees in the lower right corner is what the county is considering today. So should be, make sure that our contract agrees with the estimate as well. Look up.
And you really think you can get right away from Norfolk Southern?
Yes, yes.
Impressive.
We have. It's not.
I get it.
Railroads.
I get it.
But that's what we're going to have to do in this case because of where we're going to be. So the supplement itself is $28,970 for the right-of-way services. Part of that, it has some contingency built in there. You'll see in the second line from the bottom, up from the bottom, $1,250 for each of the different services in there. There's $5,000 in contingency, and that will only be billed if we run into any issues. For example, a project we ran into recently in land acquisition, we discovered an old septic system that had to be moved. There was no way to know that ahead of time. I mean, there's just some things that you're trying to protect against in case there's a surprise. So that's what we're here today to do, is to get this supplement approved for $28,970 for right-of-way services and land acquisition.
Couple quick questions.
Sure.
So is this a 90-10 or 80-20?
Problem is that this is going to be 100% on the county because it was not included in the when the RFP was submitted to NDOT, and we weren't involved with that, but we don't know why. There's a bunch of boxes that are checked when you apply for a federal aid project. The right-of-way services were not included in that. So NDOT can play hardball, hardball when it comes to this. And even though this is a federal aid project, and normally it's an 80-20 split, since you guys didn't have it in the RFP, they're basically saying, hey, this is your baby right now. It's 100% on the county.
So there's $5,000 in there for the city of Huntington, and I don't ever remember paying Huntington City for any easement rights on any project that we've teamed up with them. Is there any chance that we could maybe personally ask them if they could waive that?
Yes, you can. Because this is kind of not unusual, but it kind of stinks. Because this is a federal aid project, and even though the county's paying 100% of the right-of-way or land acquisition process, NDOT still requires the LPA to jump through what the normal hoops would be even if they were paying 80/20.
Right.
So you still have to go through a few of these steps, but you might be able to avoid paying any kind of land cost to them.
Okay.
But there's still some things, some boxes you'll have to check as far as appraisals. They want to make sure you went through the process. If the city is generous enough to waive that or donate that to you guys at that point, that would be great. But we have to check a few boxes, fill a few forms out, but there's some ways that you can potentially save it.
I don't think Rob's afraid of asking them, do you, Terry?
Nope.
Yeah, I think we're okay with that.
Okay. Well,
Well, we work back and forth all the time, and as long as I've been here, I've them paying us to do a road project.
It's not
on the side
unusual
of
in
it.
this
Okay.
situation where you
And I
have-
realize it's a federal aid deal, so.
Sure, and Delaware County is a good example. Grant County, actually, because they have some big bridges downtown that the county
they
is
do.
responsible
Bluffton.
for. So you'll see some work back and forth on that.
Sure, okay.
But there are fees that will need to be paid, appraisals will need to be done, so that NDOT can say, yeah, you did, at least give them a heads up of what the potential value would be. And if the city wants to work with you on that, then that would be up to them.
But they don't have to.
No, they don't have to, no.
Thanks for offering up, Tom. Appreciate
Well,
that.
they gotta remember, they're gonna want something later on also.
That's right.
It
Try and work-
it does work that way.
We've been working
Not
together.
that I'd bring that up.
We've been
but-
working with the city on
Yes,
a
you
lot of
would.
different
Okay.
things, so, yep. Good point. So what's the timeline for the total project?
The bridges is slated for fiscal '27, which starts July 1st of '26. So we hope to be able to get this thing let sometime after July 1st of '26. That's what it's set. And the project's on schedule right now.
Right.
The railroad can throw some wrinkles into it, but so far they seem to be playing nicely with us right
Yeah,
now.
we started this in what, 2021?
This was 3.5 years ago, probably. Yeah,
Commissioner
this-
Stoffel made the comment, and it's unfortunate it moves at a snail's pace, but Fountain Street was shut down for how long, which a lot of us in here know, you don't know, for a major drainage line. And it's gonna disrupt some people, hopefully not as bad as what that street turned down was,
Yeah,
but.
we wish we could have timed it better on that, in that regard, but NDOT will say, all right, we're gonna give you, like right now, this year, if you guys are if you got federal aid application, you're looking at projects that are gonna be built in 2030 right now. If you go awarded any funds, the project calls that are out right now, that's how far in advance they make you start working this process.
Sure, gotcha.
So need a motion for, to go ahead with the land acquisition amount of $28,970.
Commissioner, I haven't reviewed that yet.
Oh,
You wanna make that subject to my review?
Well, let's do that then. That would be your motion.
Motion
to,
contingent upon Mr. Boxberger's,
Review
approval.
of that,
Okay.
amount of 28,970.
Well, I'll second that motion.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. No opposed, motion's carried. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
you.
We'll
Thanks for
turn
bringing
this
us up
over
to
to the
speed, Jim.
attorney and we'll work through his office on this.
So Chief, you got, something you wanna bring forward here?
Yeah, sure, yes, sir. I have four utilities. I have one from Duke Energy at 950 west and 800 north. That's a dead end. They're applying for a permit. I have one from Heartland RAMC at 500 east and 100 north. That's RAMC. I have another one from RAMC at 500 east and 100 north, another line. And same location for their last permit they're applying for at 500 east and 100 north. I'd like to bundle these all together, have a motion to approve these
So
permits.
Bridget, has the highway department approved these permits for these utilities?
And the surveyor.
Okay,
Well, I'll second that motion.
all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. No opposed, motion's carried. Thank you.
Okay.
Have a board appointment here. Got a call from, Bruce Stanton on the Rural Huntington Board of Sewer District Board of Trustees. There's a vacancy. I think Jim Schreiber stepped off, and he recommended this gentleman by the name of Stephen Aravet, who lives in Zom Lake. He lives in that district. He'd be willing to step up to the plate and take this position on the board for Huntington Rural Sewer.
Okay.
there's a gentleman's
I'm okay.
application.
Okay.
Kind of going on.
Wall makes a motion to approve, Steve Arabat to that position.
Huntington Rural Sewer District.
Second.
Second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, no opposed, motion's carried, thank you.
I'm sorry, who made that motion?
Tom?
Okay. What is it? Phil?
Very quickly today.
Yeah, cause when you talk, you spend money.
The nice part about this one, the money's already been spent, we just wanna do a corrective entry.
Alright.
This is for Greg. He had 2 previous bills that were paid out of his repair line item that were for the courthouse. So I'd like to get you guys' permission to do a corrective entry and take it out of courthouse cume. So we keep the funds in his account for things that come up versus coming here for you guys' blessing. Repairs for the pumps downstairs for the HVAC system.
Okay.
How much is it? What's the total?
Total was 14,000 and change, roughly 14.8.
Okay.
That he took out of his line item.
Okay.
Where they were
So
actually for
we're
him.
gonna
So
put
we'd
it
like
back
to take
in
them out
his-
of courthouse cume.
Technically, it should have been taken out of courthouse cume.
Yep.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we put that money back into Greg's account, 14.8.
Motion by Commissioner Stuffle,
Wall second it.
all in favor say aye.
Fantastic. You good, Joe? Okay.
A motion, motions,
Yep, I'll do that. Actually, I got them right here. Just a quick update on Parkview renovations. I did hear back from them. We're gonna make a couple adjustments per their request. Actually, they're gonna eliminate one room. So with that, I will finalize the sketches, get them in the process, and get our state design release prepared.
very
Other than
good.
that, okay, that's all I got today.
Okay.
Thanks.
See?
Good, sweet and simple.
Not been anything.
I take my, eat my humble pie.
Stephanie, do you have anything for us for HR?
Nope. I have a bunch of stuff more.
Okay.
Okay, I have a unofficial detour letter of understanding. NDOT is gonna be closing, State Road 105. It's a culvert over the, an unnamed tributary of the Wabash River. It is 7.25 miles north of 124. So the, detour would be 100 north to, 700 west and then back to Division Road.
100 north to 700 west. Back to Division Road, 700 west on 100 north.
Somewhere west of Gravel Road.
Yeah, that's gravel road.
That's the only other, that you go back
That's,
600.
that goes along the cemetery, it turns at the cemetery and goes along.
No, that's. You're too close on.
North. 750 west.
Huh?
750 west.
750.
Yeah, that's a gravel road.
That's easier to fix.
Yeah.
More for them to tear up.
Okay. Yeah, and there's a little cemetery sitting right there on that corner.
I think you're right.
Yeah, just over it, yeah. Okay. By the substation, RMC substation.
So do we have a motion to approve the detour, or are we gonna reevaluate that?
You all right with it, Dave? I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Stuffle, second by
Wall.
Wall, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. No opposed, motion carried, thank you.
There's probably only, what, 2 people live on that, 3 people live on that road?
Probably, yeah.
There's not very many people live there.
Okay, if you would like me to do an update on the fuel system?
Yes, please.
Okay,
Can you step
so,
up to the podium, please?
say that again?
Can you step up to the podium, please?
She said gladly.
That's exactly what I said.
Well, I just want everybody to be able to hear, Bridget. I'm not, okay, that's fine. If you have a microphone, you don't have to step up the podium.
That was a slap in our face right here. Rest of the story. It wasn't a slap to us. but it
So
was
on the
to
fuel
utility.
system, the
So,
old system has been completely removed now. The dispensers on the front, which is the north side of the building, have been taken down and the canopies have been removed. The same in the south of the south parking lot of the building. The tanks have been removed. We removed a 12,000 gallon diesel tank and a 10,000 gallon unleaded fuel tank. There was no contamination under the tanks, which was pretty amazing. The guy from Willow Creek Environmental said whoever put that system in back in the day did a fantastic job of securing those tanks so that they didn't move around. There is contamination, which we expected under the north and the south fuel islands, just from, people driving off with the handle, the nozzle still hooked to their car, something like that. They are in the process of remediating all of that soil, and the contaminated soil is being stockpiled on site and tested, and then once we get all of the excavation done, it will be trucked off to a hazardous material site. So the front, they have not started the actual deconstruction of the contamination in the south, but the north is open. There's water that is collecting in there because of it being right close to the river. Nothing is getting, making sure that nothing is getting through. They're sucking out all the water that is coming into or collecting in the hole. That water is getting sucked out with a vac truck and put in a frac tank on the back side of our building to be disposed of later as well. We, with all of the rain that we had, made double sure that we had mitigating factors in place all over the place, in the drains, anywhere that it could possibly, anywhere any contaminated water or soil could get out. We have checked those. The environmental people were in this morning. They've checked them and we are all good to go. There's nothing that is leaching out. So we've gone through this, the plan and the mitigation efforts with EMA and with IDEM, and they're all comfortable with all of the steps that have been taken. So that will continue until they find soil that's not contaminated. And then they'll move they're working on the north side. When that's complete, then they'll move to the south side.
We have dirt sitting somewhere to put in there, fill that in with.
Say that again?
We have dirt sitting somewhere to fill in.
They'll truck it in.
That's all their contract.
Oh, that's all their contract to bring in stuff to.
So on the remediation piece, going into these types of projects, you really have no idea what the cost is gonna be because you don't know what the contamination level is. So that number's, I hate to say it, the sky's the limit on that, on remediation, but there is some relief for us through reimbursement through the state, but we have to pay up front first and then ask for the reimbursement.
That's correct.
But, so that's something you try and plan for, but there's really not a solid number that anybody could give you until they do a deep dive into it and see how far the contamination has went. So it seems to be going on schedule. Hopefully we'll be up and running by that first week of June.
We do have
new
the beginnings of the new system are already in place. They have excavated that area out. The bollards were poured last Thursday. So we're getting ready. That is happening simultaneously. So they're working next to where the contaminated soil was, but they're not digging down. Everything is on top of the ground. And there's no contamination going to the west. Am I right? Is that right? West.
So one good thing, we took our fuel bids last meeting, locked in our price for 1 year. If you look at the price of the pump right now for unleaded, it's $3.35. We purchased our unleaded at $2.09 or $2.13, plus there's excise tax of 35 cents, plus there is a fee that we have a fuel co-op. We've got a partnership with the Huntington City, Pathfinders, Parkview Memorial Hospital, and
Pat.
so everybody's gonna be, benefiting from, us purchasing this fuel at a bulk rate. And we're gonna pass that on to the other entities in the county that are part of our co-op, so, timing's everything. We hit it just right. I mean, I was in Florida, unleaded was 285 down there. I come home and it's 335, so that's a
Andy, do you want them to
huge-
set that
huge
rate
swing.
today?
No, we're talking, we're gonna do it,
Okay.
next meeting. We're gonna do new contracts, but the thing with the Willow Creek, the remediation agreement, I got that on Wednesday, I did have comments for them, but we need to maybe approve that subject to final review
Right,
by me and agreeing with Willow Creek.
okay. So do we have the agreement
We do.
here?
We
So-
have the agreement, but Andy has some edits that he did to it.
Right.
So that's something that you will need to speak with Jeremy
We're
today
gonna
when you meet with him.
Willow Creek after lunch today, whoever can be
Right.
there, as far as the commissioners go, just to talk about what it's gonna look like moving forward, and we'll address the issues that Andy brought forward to us on the contract.
So do you want to approve the agreement with Willow Creek so they continue pending approval by Andy?
I think that would be a good.
Sounds reasonable.
Well, I'll make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Wall, to move forward with the agreement pending Andy's approval on the talking points that we're, have some concerns on. Second by Commissioner Stuffle. All's in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. No opposed, motion's carried.
Thank you. We have the sheriff's salary contract for 2025. This goes to commissioners and then it also goes to county council. So I have that for 2025.
I'll make a motion that we approve the sheriff's
Is this the time of
contract.
year we usually approve it? This
It's,
seems-
yep, it's based off a certain percentage of our
Right.
population and on what the prosecutor makes,
Okay.
so it's
Has
pretty
Andy
cut and
looked
dry.
at it? Does Andy need to look at the sheriff's contract?
I have not seen the sheriff's.
This was written by
Yeah.
Bob.
Oh, written by
Yeah.
Bob Garrett?
It's-
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it's based off of a certain percentage. Our population's under 50,000, so it's 60% of what the prosecutor makes, so. If we were 50,000 or more, it would be 70%, so that's kind of the state.
Actually, that was changed last year
Oh.
when you guys, I'm sorry to interrupt, but you guys decided to give him more.
Oh, we
than
did bump that up a
so,
little bit.
That was not figured same way this year.
Okay. Was the
So
contract
my
correct?
question is, when did
Well,
Bob,
it was-
when did Bob approve the contract in December?
Yes.
We just don't
I
have
mean,
a
it's
signed
already,
copy.
it's based off
Andy's
of
looking
what was
over it.
adopted
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
salary
He'd
ordinance.
look at it within literally 2 minutes, so.
Let's do that.
Okay,
We'll
have you look at it. real
make the
quick.
motion, approve it pending Andy's approval on it also. So
Wall, second it.
motion by Commissioner Stuffle, second by Commissioner
Yep.
Wall. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same
Oh, yeah.
sign.
Thanks.
No opposed, motion's carried. Thank you.
Last thing,
Let's take it.
there you go.
That's right, Jill. we did
Last
that.
thing is we have an invoice from Deco Illusions for working on the murals here in the courthouse. To pay that from Cume Courthouse funds in the amount of $22,800.
Well, I'll make that motion. That was in our budget for him to get that work completed.
Motion by Commissioner Wall, second by
For Deco, second.
for Deco Illusions, 22,800. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Has everyone seen the
No
work he's been
opposed.
doing down there? Looks nice.
His neck's gonna have to be shot by the time he's 50, you know?
Just for general information, we have a local artisan from Roanoke. We're pretty fortunate. If we were to bring somebody in from an expert from somewhere else around this country and have them do this type of work, it certainly would cost us a whole lot more. He says we probably have one of the top 10 courthouses in the state of Indiana out of 92 counties, so we're pretty proud of that. We've had a concerted effort on the commissioners to keep everything the way it was when it was built in 1905 to 1908, 1904 to 1908. Took them 4 years to build it. And we've really tried to stay with, in that old architecture, not chop it up. And we did a few years ago. We invested a lot of money in an HVA system because we had the old boiler systems. But we had one of our constituents said we should tear the courthouse down and build a new one. So, but I mean, in my opinion, I think this is a historical building and certainly is worth keeping and investing the money in it. So, anyways.
And keep it in good repair is the number one
Yeah,
thing.
that's the key, is to stay on top of it, so.
Mark McIntosh would haunt you forever if you did that, so.
We need to do the Roanoke ladder,
Anything else?
the commitment.
All right, so, we have had a request from Roanoke Town Council. They're looking at a, expansion on their, sewer plant. It's, kind of at its end of life. They're not able to have any additional growth up there because they don't have the capacity. They've requested some help from the county commissioners in 2026 and 2027. We're gonna send a letter committing, $250,000 out of our, lit fund in 26 and $250,000 our lit fund in 2027 to help them out. Obviously, you saw where we were helping Andrews out to the tune of $500,000 on their water issue, and we feel like economic growth in Huntington County is very important, and this could potentially allow another couple thousand homes in the Roanoke area. I think it's important that we all look at what's responsible growth, and I think housing's a huge issue, and I think it well within our means to help them out with that, so.
So I'm in favor of this, but also I want to make sure if it's coming out of our lid, I'd like to make sure that's added to our line item 1. If it's appropriate, so they won't start asking for money until next year, correct?
Right, 26.
So then, Mr. Boxberger can put it in our lit agreement with county council, because there is monies available in the lit money to do that, so it does not strain us with what we have to do for economic development through the area. So, because county council's always said, you can get the money, but tell us what it's for. So we're telling you what you're for, and it's a great opportunity to help out Roanoke, Indiana, and.
So they're asking for a letter of commitment, which I need a motion for.
Well, I'll make that motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. No, none opposed. Motion's carried. Thank you. Yes.
I have a question regarding Roanoke. One of their needs would be a retention pond west of town to kind of hold back that water. I mean, going through there this weekend, it's hot. And I know the county has cleaned out the ditches and that culvert underneath the town. Nonetheless, it's still right there. So as you're concerned with improving Roanoke and growth, it could get flooded away if that's not looked at.
I will tell you, that's on town of Roanoke. We have done the study, we have the drawings, we have what to do. They need to apply for the grants to get it accomplished. Jerry Meehan in the surveyor's office has a study that was started clear back when Jay Poe was here. And we brought it up to another group to have them look at it, talk with the town council members. They need to take the ball and run with it. So we need to do that. And I will tell you, it makes sense to put a retention pond in up front or detention, one or the other, to bottle that water up and get it done. But you also know that we have cleaned out all the ditches upstream. And what's that do? That brings you more water faster. And everyone has cross-drained all their farms out there, so you're getting a lot more. But I will tell you, it's been in the works. Talk to the council members in Roanoke, and I think we'd be able to team up with them.
It might be a good time, hand in hand, while they're asking for something, to make a request to them to go a little farther in there.
Gotcha. I can only ask so much. Help me out.
Well,
Yeah.
be glad to.
Okay. Anything else, Bridget?
No, I'm good.
You good? Okay, it's 10:33. We've got a Huntington County Redevelopment Commission meeting scheduled for today. So we're going to call this meeting to order unless there's any other business before we move to this. Looks like we have a quorum. Moving on the agenda, minutes from 3/10/2025. If there's no questions or changes, I'd entertain a motion to accept the minutes from 3/10/2025 from our redevelopment commission.
So moved. Miller.
Motion by Councilman Terry Miller, second by
Wall, second.
Commissioner Wall. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. No opposed, motion's carried, thank you. Financial report, Bridget. Financial report. Could you speak to that for us real quickly?
I did not have time to get it to Gretchen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
So just to bring everybody up to speed, Gretchen is our new office manager. Bridget has moved to the highway department as our new superintendent. But Bridget is training Gretchen on this piece. That's part of the commissioner's office manager's job, is to take care of the redevelopment commission minutes and balances, although Jill actually by state statutes the treasurer for the redevelopment commission. So Jill, do you need to speak to this amount at all?
Well, I was just gonna recap, because I noticed that they said this was the annual meeting. I just wanted to recap that on January 1st of 2024, the balance in the redevelopment commission account or fund was $172,265.85. There were no receipts in 2024. The total expenditures were $18,136.46, and the ending balance on December 31st of 2024 was $154,129.39. So Bridget has provided information as of March 31st that the current balance was $150,524.03.
Okay.
And I do have copies. She had previously sent out on the cash ledger for 2024. If you need a copy of that, I can give you a copy of that as well.
Thank you, Jill. No other further discussion or questions on the financial report. I'd entertain a motion to accept the financial report as presented.
There's very minimal action here, and so Councilman Terry Miller would make a motion to approve the financial report.
Motion by Councilman Miller, second by
Stuffle.
Commissioner Stuffle. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. No opposed, motion's carried. Thank you. Moving on to new business. Annie, I'm just gonna let you speak briefly to this TIF management report prepared by Baker Tilly, and then we'll,
Baker Tilly, are you gonna join us?
No.
Okay. Do you have the report?
I can print it for you.
sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
That's all right. I thought Heidi was
I
gonna be
meant
here
to
to
have
talk.
it printed out.
Yeah.
and, So one of our requirements is to have an actuary, which is Baker Tilly, do a report on our TIF districts. TIF management report is required by Indiana statute. We're required by law to acknowledge this report, and it's gonna be uploaded into Gateway after we acknowledge this, or if it hasn't been already, but, I don't know if Andy has anything to add to that.
I mean, no, I think you covered it. It's a requirement by statute that we do this by April 15th, so you're just meeting your statutory obligation.
Yes, that's it.
I think that's really all we need to do is address, just acknowledge that we've received the
thank you.
report. Bridget, is there anything else we're not speaking to? It'll be uploaded into Gateway.
That is right.
Yeah, it's just an outline of your total revenues and expenditures from each of your 3 TIF areas. You got Marco West, Plumtree, and Roanoke 900 North.
Right.
and all the payments you've made and the fund balances you have in each of those TIF districts. So you
we
just need a
just-
motion to approve that.
Okay, motion to approve this report prepared by Baker Tilly.
Councilman Terry Miller make that motion.
Motion by Councilman Miller, second by
Commissioner Wall.
Commissioner Wall. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. No opposed, motion's carried, thank you. Old business. I'm gonna move ahead past the residential TIF, we'll come back to that. Commissioner sale property list, Terry and Tom, you wanna speak to that?
No, actually, our commissioner sale went well. We had taken some properties off of that and gave them over and started the process for Habitat for Humanity, and I believe it was 6 properties, is that correct?
4.
4 properties.
4 properties.
Everything sold at our commissioner's sale, except for, I believe, 3 of them. I had my list here in front of me, it's in my stack here, but it was well received, and the beauty is of this auction, we had neighbors buying properties next to their properties. So I think that was the whole goal of it, to get them back on the tax rolls and get people to fix them up and go from do very well. So, the treasurer's office, auditor's office, everyone worked together on that day of the auction, and everyone was processed. And as far as I know, everyone was pretty happy, don't you think, Jill? Or yeah, so.
Well, I wanna thank Councilman Terry Miller, because Terry did a lot of due diligence on the properties, drilled down and did a deep dive into it, and really kind of identified some properties that we feel like would be advantageous to contact these people. There's a couple non-for-profits that we put on notice, and they were able to secure these properties, so I think it was a win for everybody.
Pathfinders actually was able to look at one of those properties before the sale, and so it was removed before the sale. And then I want to credit Jill and her staff and Treasurer's Department and so forth that reached out to some people so that they were there. They're not always aware, if they don't see the notices, and those properties got back into good hands. I think there was 3 properties that Commissioner Wall referred to that are just little pieces and parts that happen sometime in the city, who knows when, that really are probably never going to be bought. They may be gathered in some other deals or something later on, but they're probably just never going to sell because they're just little pieces and parts, like 2/10 of an acre or something, or and so, but overall, it came out very well, I thought.
Right. Residential TIF.
There's a lot of information being gathered still, and some conversation I think that we need to have with Eric Long, and I'm going to have a couple more meetings here, and then we're going to draw you as the president in, and Mr. Boxberger that we've talked to about the possibilities of looking at the rural subdivisions and working with some of those vacant lots there, but also maybe some adjacent land and what we can do to encourage residential housing to expand in the rural subdivisions.
Andy's working for us on a property that the commissioners own right adjacent to the Markle TIF district. It's 7/10 of an acre.
Yeah, we didn't have we couldn't find any deeds or anything that evidence that the commissioners actually own that parcel. So we ran a title search and confirmed. I just got that last week, so at the next commissioners meeting in 2 weeks, we'll have the paperwork to transfer that to the redevelopment commission.
So there is a project that's in the works over there. I don't know if it's gonna get legs. Tom, do you know whether that's gonna go or
They
not?
spent a lot of money so far to do nothing. I would think it's probably going to move forwards.
I heard that it's positive, going to move in a positive direction, yes.
I've seen stranger things, but it looks like they are getting the support of the town and also the state of Indiana to get things moving, so.
Okay, good.
When you're saying to do the transfer, is that from the commissioners or RDC?
It's from the commissioners to the RDC. Commissioners own it, and they're gonna transfer it to the RDC. Don't need an RDC meeting, correct. I guess maybe
yeah.
a motion to accept that property would be good because we won't, you won't
Right.
have a meeting
That's
before then,
true.
yeah.
Right. So, I don't have the parcel number or anything, but, just for the record.
I can pull it up if you give me 30 seconds here. My computer went dark and died. That's always good. Let's see if I can. Maybe I can find it on my phone here quicker.
Yeah, that project's almost came up a couple times in plan, but they kind of delayed it because of this, maybe this addition, and making the project even better. So, obviously, sometimes these come up and you can't really say, economic development wise, until they make their own, announcement. But it's a very favorable project for that area.
I found it here, just hamsters are spinning.
I found it on the internet, that little parcel.
Yeah.
So it's parcel number 35-07-02-100-039.802-014. It's in Rock Creek Township.
Second.
Is that your motion?
Good job.
Motion to move that property from, Commissioners to the redevelopment commission?
It'd be to accept the property,
To
because
accept.
commissioners will transfer it to you.
Accept the
To
property.
accept the property from the commissioners, yep. That'd be your motion.
That'd be my
Mr. Wyatt.
motion.
Second?
I was,
Councilman Terry Miller, second, yes.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. No opposed, motion's carried. Thank you. Okay,
Did Tom make that motion? I'm sorry.
yes.
no, I just read this off and he thought it was a motion, but yes,
Oh.
it is. Yes, we're good.
Sounded like
Yeah.
a motion.
Sounded like a motion.
I figured something you would do to me, so.
Yeah, pretty much.
That was a motion to accept, Bridget,
Yes.
from the commissioners to the RDC. Okay. Any other, conversation for the good of the order? If not, I would entertain.
Motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. No opposed, motion's carried. Thank you. Okay, next item is Anthony Goodnight, and I believe he's here.
I think to confirm these numbers with the auditor's office or the treasurer's, but if we would put that in our minutes, what the property sold for, that way next year when we ask, well, what did the other ones bring? Well, I have to dig through my cabinet back there to find it. That'd be nice. Hi, Anthony.
How you doing?
Hi, Anthony.
How you doing, guys? Good.
We're good.
Good. Well, hey, I'm here today. As you guys remember, I was back, I don't know, back in maybe January, we submitted for you guys CCMG. Actually, I think it was early last year. You guys were awarded $1.47 million for road improvements. 25, you got to match 25%, so you'll put in a couple $100,000 at the end of the day. But I'm here today with the agreement for design of those roads. So the original one was to put the application in. This one is to design them and inspect them. I do have a list of roadways. If you want me to read them off, I'm happy to do that. But this design agreement, the design's $44,000. I think we have 5,000 of kind of utility coordination if any's needed. That's an hourly contract, and then there's inspection of 111,000. In talking with Bridget and Dave, the roads that were under contract from last year are going to get started. We've got a pre-con tomorrow with the contractor to maybe get started on those early this spring. These roads would likely be pushed out till next year just due to some funding, match funding. So, but we'd like to get them. You have to be under contract with the contractor by June 24th of this year, or you lose the funding. So we need to get them designed, get them out to bid. We'll accept bids here at the commissioners meeting, probably sometime in late May or early June, and then we'll get it awarded, and then they'll probably start work probably 2026.
How many's on your list there, Anthony?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Just read them off real quick, if you don't mind.
Prestwick Chase Boulevard from West County Road 600 North to Dead End. St. Andrews Court from 530 West to Dead End, which is also out there, I believe. Timothy Drive from Lake Drive to County Road 500 North. Lake Drive from County Road 500 North to Timothy Drive. 320 West from County Road 500 North to County Road 515 North. West 515 North from County Road 320 to County Road 313. 313 from County Road 515 to County Road 500. 500 North from city limits to State Road 5. 200 East from US 224 to County Road 400 North. 200 East from State Road 124 to 900 South. And then those are the ones that are going to get an HMA overlay, 1.5 inch or 2 inch mill and resurface. And then there's some that have what we call minor structural, which is a full depth reclamation where they tear the whole road up. That's 300 East from County Road 500 South to State Road 124. So all in all, it's about 5.5 miles of roadway.
All right, thank you for
under
reading
this
those off.
agreement.
Appreciate it.
So.
So need a motion to move forward with this agreement?
44,000? No, it was the total agreement's 160,000.
I also haven't had a chance to review that contract either.
Right.
Okay, I'll make a motion for contingent upon
Any
Andy's
review
approval
on
on
that?
that.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Stoffel, contingent on legal's approval, second by
Wall.
Mr. Wall. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. No opposed, motion's carried.
Would
Thank
you get us
Thank you, Anthony.
I thought I seen it, that we have a map with a color coded, which ones we're gonna do for the year?
Yeah,
I thought I had one, and I can't find it in
there's
mine.
one somewhere. I'll find you one.
It's in here if you wanna find it.
Yeah.
But I think that would help our residents realize what's going on, and then,
Yep.
and our county highway does a great job when they're shutting down roads, notifying everyone out there and, with what's going on too, so, but that way we can post that on our social media.
One thing we could do is put this year's on there, what we're doing, and next year's on the same map, and
Yeah,
then we
that'd be
just
good.
kind of highlight them what years they are, and that way people
25
know
and
what's going
26.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anthony, is there any striping on any of those roads?
I'd have to go back and look. I
If
probably.
there is, are you gonna, that'll be replaced or put back?
Oh, yeah, yeah, anytime you,
Okay. Because we ran
pay,
into
you're
that
gonna
with
have
one of
to.
our.
Not necessarily true, your
Yeah,
statement.
Yeah.
What's that?
Anytime it's there, you put it back, that's not necessarily
Well, I'm
true.
saying, there's, if there's striping there now, we could put it back, yes.
Yeah.
We want it back.
Yeah.
Yes,
So if there's
right,
something
yep.
removed, okay.
But I have to look, I'm sure it was in the original
Gotcha.
scope, yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Just like edging, I think the county does the edging, so I know we work through a lot of that stuff,
Okay.
during the application process, yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, appreciate you.
You bet.
I have one more update real quick on the striking question you just had. Last week, we had a notice of funding opportunity that came out from NDOT. It's the 2025 Safe Streets for All. And it looks to me like striping is an eligible funding requirement. So I'm going to contact NDOT and find out if we can do a grant to do striping.
Okay, super.
So that's typically not part of that, huh? Okay. Any other business we need to address?
Other than, Mr. Boxberger was looking over the TWN contract with the lease of that building. Did you get that contract by
They've
chance?
not sent it back yet.
Yeah, they haven't sent the amendment.
Oh, but we had got an email that they was asking about it, so.
Oh, well. I've been working with Stephanie on it, yeah.
No problem, no
Okay.
problem. It was on my,
They're supposed to be doing an amendment to send to us.
Yeah.
fantastic,
Can you forward that to me, TW?
possibly.
Do you need it today or?
You know, whenever.
Let me hand you my computer.
No, thank you.
Any public comment?
Anybody in the public?
I haven't got a text about the sound system, so whatever you did
We're working it.
is working on it. So it's
We're still
trial
not
and
done.
error. I totally get it. We just want to make sure it's accessible
We're
for
not
everyone.
done, but it's getting there.
I think what solved the problem was, is that the guy wearing the Ohio State hat,
That's why I went off. I apologize to him. He had an Ohio State hat on and I just got a little tense, so.
Oh my gosh.
He can walk in with a Purdue hat and I probably would have left him alone, so, but that's all recorded, isn't it? Yeah.
You got official now, you're gonna get hit about
Yeah,
that.
that's all right.
Yeah.
right,
I
Jill,
do
sorry.
have, I received a message from my office that they had an amendment to the claim amount, for the bundle, so we just need to have this re-signed.
Okay,
We need to vote on that also, Jill, or just?
When you approve the claims, I don't think you have a specified amount, so this
Okay.
is just removing it.
Gotcha.
Next. Gretchen, did you have anything?
No, I do not.
Okay. We're gonna have to start including her on that list now too.
This is the paperwork for the unofficial detour.
thank you.
The unofficial detour down the gravel road. Unofficial detour down gravel road.
Hey, Rob, so they have introduced that amendment down in Indy at 10:30 this morning that is gonna be very intrusive to our
No one?
revenue. in the
Business
coming-
personal property.
Yeah, well, no, it's a lot more than that. It's.
Right, I know,
Yeah.
but that was a piece of.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
Do I wait to sign them till we approve them or?
all elected officials across the state are on high alert because of,
All hands on deck.
yeah. We're gonna see how that all comes out.
Okay. Any other, business for the good of the order? If not, I would entertain a motion to recess.
Well, I'll make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Wall,
Is that till the next meeting, or are you coming back today?
next meeting.
What's this?
These are the other ones that. we-
Second. Opposed, same sign, motion's carried.
Anthony,